want to max out, and we want to hit an RPE of 9 at our top set. And then all we have left is just to plan for this Monday, which, you know what? Since we're front loading all the legs at the end of the week, let's go ahead and get a hanging core day. We haven't even seen that yet. So let's get a hanging core day. Hanging core day can call for a decent... That's a fucking RPE 7.8. Ow! Fuck. Alright, now, two things that this hypothetical schedule has created for us. Alright? So one, because there's such a focus on compounds, okay, this is a really deep context I need to elaborate for. Because we already focus on our compounds predominantly, we have very, very little fucking focus on bicep curls and fucking tricep extensions and fucking calf raises or whatever stupid fucking superfluous bullshit that like keeps people busy in the gym. Because we're focused on the core and multiple movement directions, multiple planes of movement, multiple and varying load schemes, and they're all core-centric, i.e. being compound movements. Because we have that, we don't need its own fucking core day every single day of the week. We don't need one. So, when we do get one, it does two things for us. One, we get ample return on it, because we also haven't like increased its adaptation to the point where we have to do all sets of 12 on this core day in order to see any sort of return. We're also passively building the core through our compound movements. This is just the one day where we kind of zoom in on the shit, right? Same thing with sprints. And sprints don't have to be sprints. Maybe you're not a sprinter. Maybe you despise running for fucking 9 seconds at an all-out pace. Maybe you've got some sport-specific or you individual-specific goal coming up. Maybe you want to go to the Donut Fun Run at the end of September or some shit, and you'd like to be able to run the whole 5K at a jog or higher. Like, that's cool. You've got specific goals you're training for. It doesn't have to be sprints. It's a cardio outlet, is the point. It doesn't have to be sprints. But by keeping our sprints or our 5K or whatever cardio-based thing we're keeping, by keeping it to a honed-in visual, a honed-in kind of like specified day, and also not letting it run rampant over the course of our whole fucking calendar, we adapt enough, but we don't over-adapt. So I know that if I'm only doing one sprint day, I'm not a sprinter. I am not like going to Hershey Field to run in a fucking track meet anytime soon. If I was, I would be, like, if I was, my sprints and my deadlifts would trade places. I'd only be doing deadlifts like once a month, or squats like, well, no, I'd probably be doing all sorts of different types of squats still, but like my deadlifts would only be doing, I'd only be doing them once a month, because that's a lot of demand that is kind of counterintuitive to the sprint capacity. I'd still be doing it to still be applying that adaptation and that demand on the central nervous system. But you see what I'm saying? Like in this frequency rather than in this frequency. And this day, the sprint day or this running day, this cardio day, this would become all my fucking Fridays. And, and they'd swap. But anyways, because my sprints are only once a month, and because I've backlogged and planned for them to be that way, I'm going to run those 9 sprints, those 7, 8, 9 sprints, whatever like I end up doing on that sprint day, and I'm going to get all the return on them, and I'm going to adapt enough that they carry my cardiovascular conditioning into the next 3 weeks, at which point I'll like do another sprint day. But they're not gonna be adapting me so much that I have to do 10 sprints, 11 sprints in order to see the same return. So it's kind of like Venn diagramming, right? Like I'm just always trying to balance the fucking overlap. You know, real balance is not like 50 on one side and 50 on the other and like a fucking flat scale. Real balance is like 30 plates that all need to spin and you're just really good at keeping them spinning. Like that's what real balance kind of is. At least to me anyways. That's kind of, because like the way that we're trapped by language, you know, like to say balance, like we think it means this one thing and the scale kind of represents it the best. But then like using the scale reference for something that doesn't equal the scale, like it starts to get confusing. So anyways, but yeah. So now, and again, I only drew 3 weeks here because effectively the next 3 weeks would look something like this. And then the next 3 weeks would look something like that. So I'm going to give it up close for you guys. I hope this has helped. So like I said before, we start off with a push-pull with like an RPE 5 to 6. Then we've got an active recovery day or a low RPE body weight, no implement push-pull day. And then we've got a 6 to 8 RPE squat day. Then we go to overhead press. Then we go to our hinge day, which is our deadlift day. Then we come back to it. Then we've got our Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday is our passive recovery. That's like I don't do shit and I recover. And then our active recovery, which is like I do shit that requires so little of me, but does require of me that I end up gaining more energy and more mobility and less restriction into where I'm moving, how I'm moving, etc. Then we come back. We're back on a Monday, and now we're going to change it up just ever so slightly, right? I've still got a push-pull twice. I've still got overhead press. So I've still got all my movement patterns that I personally like to account for. And then we're coming over. We've got a squat, lower tempo than the previous week. But then this week, this 4th week, is going to be high tempo squat again and low tempo hinge as we kind of recover from our previous test day. And then as we undulate that way, up and down, then it allows us enough nervous central fatigue recuperation that we can still see and feel our gains moving forward. Because if we're ready to switch to this type of scheme, it's because we're already past the point of like, I ate bad, so I have to get a workout in. We've moved into the zone of like, I'm going to work out regardless. Now, how can I do it in a way that is time efficient, in a way that is maximizing my use of time at the gym per ritual time? You know, like if you go to the gym every day at 5, you know, whatever, like you want to know how to best maximize that time. So, trying to think if there's anything I've missed here. I don't think so, but I really hope that that helps. Drop me a comment below after you watch this video. Let me know, like, do I need a microphone? Is my sound shit? Do I need to take you guys closer to the whiteboard? Is my cameraman-ing ability shit? Probably. Like, Joe's good at teaching people, not good at fucking filming the teacher. You know what I mean? Does all of this make sense? Do you have any questions, comments, bitches, gripes, concerns? Comment below. Tag your friends if you think they would find this helpful. Stay safe. Keep sanitizing. Stay quarantined. Don't go outside if you don't have to. You know, outside being like the mall. You know, go out in your yard and enjoy the sunshine. But other than that, happy times from Sage Dragon to you guys. Have a great day. Peace.